Boys and girls, I wanted to show you the correct cover. I noticed that last week I showed you the wrong cover. I'm so sorry about that. So this is what your weather and seasons journal looks like, your writing journal. Okay, now I had mentioned to your parents that we are a little bit out of order, and I apologize for that. And I wanted you to find this page right here. It says, my favorite season is. Now, this page we're not going to use unless you want to, okay? So this is going to be an extra page, and I'll show you what you can do with it after we're all done learning about our seasons, okay? So you can just turn that page, and you probably already did your winter tree map because you found it and worked on it yesterday. So if you would like to pull it out, that's always a little bit more helpful. So just go ahead and rip that out. That's what I like to do. And then that way I can put it right next to me and I can have it all ready for my writing, which is this page right here. Okay. Oh, and look, we have our 5-star writing down here again today. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Okay, so make sure that you have your name at the top. I hope you did that already. Don't forget. And you did your tree map yesterday. So we have in winter. So this is going to be the very first sentence that we're going to put on our writing today. It's going to say, in winter, I see snow and ice. Now, if you thought of something different, then of course you'll write your words. But if you wrote the same thing that Penelope and I wrote, then you'll write this. Now, this is our very first sentence, okay? So let's just put a number 1 right here. I'm going to do it in red so we can see it. So this is going to be our sentence number 1, okay? Then we're going to do our sentence number 2. Now, we could say, in winter, I wear a scarf and a hat. We could say that again, or we could just come right here and say, I wear a scarf and a hat. We don't have to repeat this. You could if you would like to, okay? But I'm not going to repeat it. I'm just going to take that off, and it's going to start right here, okay? And that's going to be our second sentence right there, okay? And then our third sentence, let's see, do we need to say, in winter, I like to build a snowman? Or could we just say, I like to build a snowman? I think that's all we're going to need. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Okay, so that's going to be sentence number 3. So if you'd like to number yours like I did, that would be super helpful. Okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and start right over here. And we're going to say in winter, okay, in winter. So you can copy your map, or you can copy what I'm writing right here. Now remember, we always start with a capital, and they have a capital right over here so we can see what it looks like. Capital I, okay, just like when we write I, we write that a lot for our beginning of our sentences, but this time it's I-N for in. In, finger space, winter. And you can see it right over here. So you can copy it, okay? Or you can copy mine, in winter. Now, when you're doing your neat writing today, make sure that your lowercase letters stay under the bumpy line, okay? Only have those letters that go up to the top like this. Touch the top. I'm seeing some people that are going a little bit over and they're not writing very neatly. And when you get over here where it says, did I do neat handwriting? You can't just check it off. You have to check. So be very careful as you're writing, okay? So here we go. In winter, I see snow and ice. Okay, so we're going to put in winter, I, capital I, because we're talking about ourselves, okay? Even though it's not the beginning of a sentence, you still make a capital I because you're talking about yourself, and you're an important person, so it has to have a capital. In winter, I see, make sure you have a finger space in there, I see snow and ice. Snow and ice. Now you can copy it right from your map if you'd like to, or you can copy what I'm writing. And if you need to pause the video to catch up, that is fine. Snow, finger space, and now look how all of my letters are right there underneath the bumpy line, my lowercase letters. I do have some parts of those letters that need to go up tall like that. We know which ones those are, but be very careful about your neat writing today. I see snow and ice. Yeah, like when things get frozen outside, you might see little icicles and things like that. Ice, okay, and that's the end of our first sentence. So we need a period, stop. So let's make it red. Let's go back and check. Now remember, at the beginning of our sentence, we have green for go. That helps us to remember that we made a capital at the beginning. Okay, so did you make a capital? If you did, you can do that green. Okay, now I don't know what happened to my yellow. It just like ran away. So I'm going to use my highlighter today. It works pretty well, actually. So if you have one, you could use your highlighter too. And I like it because it doesn't seep through. Okay, I've separated all of my words with finger spaces. Okay, now that was sentence number 1. Okay, check, we did that one. Now let's do this one. Now, do you want to say, in winter I see snow and ice. In winter I wear a scarf and hat. In winter I like to build a snowman. Or do you want to take that part off for the second sentence? Let's see if it makes sense. In winter I see snow and ice. I wear a scarf and hat. Yeah, I think we can do that because we've already said that it's winter. We already know that. So we don't need to keep repeating it. So let's go right here. I wear. Okay, so that's going to be our next sentence. Now look, don't come down here just because we have a period. No, we have room, so we can keep going, okay? You're talking about yourselves now, capital I. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have a room for the word where. So I'm actually going to come down to the next line and I'm going to write where down here. If you don't know how to spell it and you're doing the same words as me, then you can copy what I'm writing or you can copy it right from your map, okay? Because that's sentence number 2. I wear, and then what I put on mine is a scarf and a hat. If you did the same thing I did, then you will copy this exactly, or you can copy from here when I write it. Now, if you thought of some different words, then you will write your own words there, okay? All right, so I wear make sure we're doing finger spaces in between all of our words, a scarf. And if you don't know how to spell scarf, it's a little tricky. You can copy mine or you can copy it right from your tree map. That's what the tree map's for. It's to help you, okay? A scarf and a hat. And no room, coming down here, a finger space, hat. I bet you could spell hat all by yourselves without even looking because you're pretty good with your letters and sounds now. At. When you get to a word that you think you know how to spell, give it a try instead of just copying everything, okay? All right, so that was sentence number 2, okay? So that we should have 2 sentences now. All right, so we have our stop, red period at the end for our punctuation, and we have our green capital. Yep, that's a capital. Is yours a capital? If it is, you can go ahead and make it green. And then let's just check and see if we have our finger spaces in between our words. If you accidentally squished some words together, what would you have to do? You would have to erase, yes, and fix it, okay? Don't try to just squeeze a yellow in between there. That's why we use these, to help us to make sure that we did everything correctly, and then we can erase and fix if we need to. Okay, now boys and girls, you're getting really good at doing this now, okay? So I'm going to challenge you a little bit today, and I'm going to have you do sentence number 3 all by yourselves, okay? Now, I will come back and show you how I did mine, but I want you to go do it, okay? So we have, I like to build a snowman. You don't need to repeat this, okay? Because we've already said up here that we're talking about winter. We know that, so we don't need to keep saying it over and over again, okay? I like to build a snowman. So if you have the same thing I have, then you will copy this right here for your last sentence. If you wrote something different here, then you will copy whatever you wrote on your map, and you will do it right here. Okay, so I want you to go write your third sentence. Okay, and then what are you going to do after that? Are you going to check your 5-star writing? Okay, yes, you're going to check your 5-star writing. Okay, and we'll come back and we'll do that part together. Okay, all right, so go do your third sentence and then we'll come back in a snap. Okay, there's my third sentence. It says, I like to build a snowman. I hope that you did your third sentence all by yourselves today, just like I did. Okay, now I'm ready to check my 5-star writing. Maybe you already did yours. I hope so. Okay, I'm going to do mine though so that you can watch and then you can kind of check and see if you did yours. So when we do our capitals, we know that we have 3 sentences. So we should have 3 greens, right? So we should have 3 capitals at the beginning. So, yep. That looks good. Okay, now I have my little yellow highlighter, so I'm going to do it in yellow today. Check. And I'm going to color my star. My finger spaces, I actually already checked those, and I made sure that none of my words were squished together. Did you do the same thing? Check. Okay, if you did, you can get a check too. Now our punctuation is our periods at the end. And remember, we had 3 sentences, right? We know that because our tree map helped us. 1, 2, 3. So we should have how many periods? 3. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. Yep. All right, looks good. And when I read it, I'll make sure everything's in the right place. And then neat writing. Now, guys, I told you to check and make sure that your writing is neat, okay? And if you have any letters that are a little bit sloppy, I want you to fix them. You don't give yourself a star unless it is neat. Check. Mine is nice and neat. I took my time, okay? Now, the last one is, does it make sense, okay? If you need help reading these, you can ask your parents to help you, okay? But you probably know by now. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's read it to see if it makes sense. In winter, I see snow and ice. I wear a scarf and a hat. I like to build a snowman. Yeah, all right. So it makes sense. I'm going to give myself a little star there and a check. Boys and girls, will you read yours and make sure that it makes sense? Make sure you didn't miss anything. Pause the video now. Go read yours. Well, unless you already did. Maybe you already gave yourself a check. But if you haven't done it, go do it now, okay? And then we're going to go both of us, we're going to go and draw our picture at the top of what we like to see and what we like to do and how we look in the wintertime. We're going to draw a little picture right up here. I'll draw mine, you'll draw yours, and we will be back in a snap. And here's my picture. There's me with my hat and my scarf. I'm all nice and warm. Oh, I can see snow over there on the mountains. And there's my snowman that I built. He even has on a scarf and a hat. How does your picture look? Did you check off all of your 5 stars for your 5-star writing? Do you have 3 sentences today? Wow, awesome. Okay, guys, great job today.